Hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Mock the Mock, the internet mock draft show hosted by me, Trevor Sikkema, where we take a look at the latest 2021 NFL mock draft over at the Draft Network. And we go over some picks that, let's just say, I didn't wholeheartedly agree with. This week we have Kyle Krabs' latest mock draft, his 4.1 version. And with it, there's a couple of picks that I have to address, starting with the Cincinnati Bengals at number 3 overall, where he has them taking Oregon offensive tackle Penei Sewell. Now, Sewell to the Bengals, great. In a vacuum, I love it. It's a great pairing. They could really use another offensive tackle. That's all good with me. But how they got there, that's what I don't agree with. The Bengals had to jump up from number 6 to number 3 to get to that point. And in doing so, they gave up 3 pretty good draft assets in a first and a third round pick this year and a second rounder next year. I just think that's too much. The rest of the Bengals roster needs a lot of work, and giving up those kind of picks when the roster is as bad as it has been over the last couple of years, that's the part that I can't agree with. Sewell going to the Bengals, great. Love it. I think it makes a lot of sense. But how they got there to pick Sewell, I'm not for that. We don't have to go too far for this next one. We're only dropping down to number 5 overall with the Philadelphia Eagles, where Kyle has them selecting Penn State linebacker Micah Parsons. And if you've watched the Eagles over the last couple of years, you know they could certainly use a player of Parsons' talent right in the middle at that linebacker spot. But for where Philly is as a franchise right now, especially with their quarterback position, I don't know if they can go defense here. They can do that in a couple of other rounds, in rounds 2 and 3. They can get a good linebacker. They might be able to still get a good corner. But when you look at what was really wrong with this Eagles team, it was surrounding their quarterback situation, right? Wentz wasn't playing very good. He had no confidence. Hurts came in and he was okay. But are they going to start Hurts over Wentz next year? They got a lot of money invested in Wentz. And that makes me think that unless they're making a big change at quarterback, Wentz is probably still going to get the chance to start at the beginning of next year. And if that's the case, you got to look at offense. I think you got to think offensive line or wide receiver, something. You've got to do your best to give Wentz as much confidence as he possibly can. Hopefully just prove that last year was the worst year of what is going to be his career. I think this has got to be an offensive pick for Philly. Last but not least, we go to the Arizona Cardinals. And Kyle has them taking a player who I really like. I'm a big fan of. And so it's weird with me criticizing this as much as I am, but he has them at 17, so a top 20 pick, taking running back Travis Etienne. I love Etienne. I think that he can be a full-time workhorse kind of running back in the NFL. I think that he's proved that over the last couple of years. But for the Arizona Cardinals, I'm not so sure, because this is a pretty rich pick. If they're picking at number 17 overall, that's got good value. And the rest of this running back class, if they wanted to complement or even ascend past what they have now in Kenyon Drake, there's Najee Harris, Javonte Williams, Michael Carter. I mean, there's all kinds of good running backs that they could pick up in this class. They don't have to spend number 17 overall on a running back. So ETN, it's kind of like the same situation with the Cincinnati Bengals. In a vacuum, you like it. I could like the pairing here, but it's just too rich of value for me to have them agreeing with taking a running back at number 17. That's all for Mock the Mock this week. Kyle did have rounds 1 and 2 in his mock draft that he released so far, but he's going to be adding a third round later this week over at thedraftnetwork.com.